Right now, 62% of the 2v2 player base is sitting between Platinum and Diamond, which makes that area the average for the 2v2 game mode. If you're in Grand Champ 1, you're in the top 1.6%, Grand Champ 2, the top 0.4%, Grand Champ 3 is the top 0.09%, and SSL is the top 0.03%. For most people playing a competitive video game, reaching the highest rank is the ultimate goal. The hours of learning, grinding, and improving it takes can put some people off, especially when it comes to a game like Rocket League. A game where you have to figure out how to pilot a small car to make quick movements in a fraction of a second. It can seem daunting at first to look at the higher ranks and worry about if it's even possible to get there. But it is. And you can, and it's not as hard as you think it might be. But before we get into that, a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Rocket Racing in Fortnite, who's bringing out an insane new update. They're actually making it so that you can start designing and publishing your own racing islands directly into the game. And this comes in the form of two templates, competitive and speed tracks. Now, competitive allows you to race over multiple laps, and these speed tracks give you time trials, allowing you to race for the best time on a single map. Both of these come with simple tools to help you create and customize your own track. You can also spawn different cars and rocket racing abilities straight onto the track. This can include drift, flying, air dodging, and turbo. And all of this is just the start, as there's a range of different features coming to look out for. So jump in and experience the incredible new rocket racing templates and devices for building rocket racing islands yourself. It comes down to just three things. First, let's approach the mentality aspect of what it takes to reach SSL, as this is the most important aspect that a lot of younger players tend to avoid. Your mentality plays a big part in whether or not you can achieve something. If you play Rocket League casually, a few games or an hour every other day, that's completely fine. Games are made to be enjoyed, but you have to know that you will improve slower than people who are playing even a little bit every single day. Now, I'm not telling you to change your life. I'm not telling you to change the way you play games. I'm just saying this is something you need to acknowledge. In order to improve in Rocket League as fast as you can, you need to approach the game with the mentality that everything you are doing is for improvement. A loss will give you something to work on. A win is proof that your training is working, trying to stay positive about each outcome and only look at things in a way that helps you progress. This is the best way to keep yourself focused on actually getting better and actually helping you to get results faster. This also means that if you feel you're getting tilted, you should probably jump off for a 10-minute break or so, as you aren't going to optimally perform if you're angry at the game. While we're on the topic of tilting, we have Smurfs. I need you to understand, especially you players in the middle ranks where the majority of Smurfs are, going up against a Smurf and losing isn't your fault, and it isn't your teammates' fault, and it is actually something you can learn from. Yes, it sucks, I know, but there are times when you can actually watch the gameplay back from the Smurf's point of view and look for the mistakes in your own gameplay that may let them make the plays that they did. Granted, this won't be the case all the time, but it's better to take what benefits you can from a bad situation. Now, moving on from the mentality aspect, let's focus on something that doesn't really ever get talked about enough, and I only ever saw it in a video a few months ago from Gregan. Gregan made a video talking about why EU is better than NA in RLCS, and in that video he talks about how players from Europe have Discord servers for each language and each country where they can play with other players from those places. This opens up opportunities for upcoming players to play with some higher ranked, more established players, and he gave the example of the French community hanging out in K-Dop's stream, sniping him, chatting with him, and teaming with him. Then, through those games, those chats, and that community, you had more and more French players playing together, grinding together, and improving together. Now, I'm sure you all know this by now, but one of the best ways to improve in Rocket League is to play with players who are better than you, because they will help enable you to play more comfortably. So, being in the communities, these Discord servers, these stream chats where you can talk to other players, learn from the higher ranks, and maybe play with people around your rank can help you massively long term, not only to improve, but you will also just find like-minded people you can actually grind with and just enjoy the game with. Now, I am not saying go into people's communities and just spam who wants to play. You should actually become a member of this community. Make friends and be someone rather than just coming in, asking who wants to play, and just leaving. Gregan goes on to later say that when Zem was on his rise, he was often seen in K-Dop streams, chatting and making friends with the other French stars in the scene. So, what I believe you should take from this is to go and join communities, talk to people, find people around your rank, and find a few teammates you can work with to improve. You'll be surprised how easy it is to make friends if you just spend some time chatting to people in Twitch chats or in Discords. So we have quickly covered the mentality you need to reach SSL. We have covered the things you need to do on the side to reach SSL. All that's left is the hard part. What kind of training do you need to do in order to realistically reach SSL? Well, realistically, you need to train a lot. But a lot of training is useless unless you do a lot of meaningful training. Training with purpose and training with a goal in mind. And this goal needs to be realistic. This means you probably shouldn't start this training with the goal of hitting SSL, as it might be a bit out of reach at this point. So to make sure you don't get burnt out or upset that you aren't hitting your goals, you should set more approachable and achievable goals that change as you go. It's also recommended that you don't set goals that are definite, like I want to hit Grand Champ 2 in a week. Instead, try something like I want to improve my shooting by next week. Or I want to be more comfortable with my aerial control by next week. This way, you have something you can be dedicated to learning. You have a way to train towards a goal where you will actually see improvement, and it doesn't matter who you're playing against or if you win your games, because you are measuring yourself against your former self. But for those of you who want a really solid all-around training routine that you can do each day to get you through the ranks quickly, here's what I recommend. The first thing you want to do when you're warming up or getting into a training session is movement training. This is just moving around the field without the ball, putting your car in different positions and trying to keep your momentum. This can be achieved through wave dashes, flips, little movements in the air, whatever you can do to keep yourself moving around the field as fast as you can, all while changing the way your car moves. The more uncomfortable you make it for yourself, the better, as you're going to learn from these uncomfortable moments and have better control of your car because of them. Then you move on to hitting the ball around the field as fast as you can and as hard as you can. This is useful for getting good power behind every touch and being able to hit the ball with power from different positions. After 5 minutes of this, move on to a shooting training pack that is suitable for your level. You need a way to train shooting, as it is one of the fundamentals of the game and also helps you to train your power and your accuracy. After you go through the training pack once or twice, move on to a rings map. This is a section where you get to work on your aerial control and, if you need it, your air roll control. This should be another 5 or 10 minutes before you move into mechanical training. This section can be completely up to you, but I think it's important to have fun with it. You can spend 10 minutes a day just going over whatever mechanic you want to improve, whether that is flip resets or double touches or even just wave dashes. You need a way to still have some fun while you're grinding and putting in the hours. Lastly, you'll want to do a replay review. This can either be a review of your own game from the day before, looking over the mistakes you might have made so you can work on them today, or watching over a pro replay and picking one player to track around the field, watching how they move, the decisions they make, and what actions separate you from them. Then, go into the day with that player and their gameplay in mind. That can be your entire training routine. Now, obviously, you can add bits wherever you like, and you can train for as long or as little as you want, but as long as you are putting in some time with dedicated training and you are focusing on the things that will actually help you to improve your rank, you will start to see some improvement. So, to wrap things up, overall, mentally, you need to stay positive and understand that these things take time and that you can get there with a bit of time spent. Socially, you should be aiming to meet people who share common goals with you and can help you to learn how to better your own gameplay and playstyle. And lastly, training-wise, you need to focus on the important aspects of the game and build yourself a dedicated routine to help hone those skills each day. Hopefully this helps you out if you are someone who wants to make that final push to SSL or even just wanting to rank up in general. But that'll be all from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.